Hey, good day, everyone. This is Toni Van Schoik, CEO and co-founder of FermaGlo, and we are disrupting the network marketing industry. And this is my friend and also co-founder, board member, investor, Anissa Casey, and we're here to share, we're going to talk about the challenges, but then again, we're going to talk about how we're different and the best practices and what has to change in this industry. We are already leading disruptors. So I just want to get down. We wrote down a couple of topics that we want to address. So I'm going to pose that for you first, and then we're going to give you our feedback in, what we know, what makes the difference, because there is a collective force behind this company. So the very first thing I want to talk about, lack of transparency. And honestly, for me, being an industry veteran for over almost 30 years, I'm not going to say over, I'm going to date myself, even though, I am reverse aging, right? But we want to talk about the lack of transparency in product ingredients, product efficacy, who our community is, our communication, and truly about commissions. So what we've done is that we have really flipped the script with total transparency on, what you're paid daily in your commissions, what the product ingredients are. We even have safety data sheets that we have available for people. So, again, we've taken a lot of the lack of transparency into consideration. And on top of that, we have a full ingredient list that we have available for everyone to view. So Anissa, I'm going to turn it over to you. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, Toni, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I love the idea of doing this education for people because transparency is such a huge problem. You and I have both heard of different industries out there, companies and products that seem to be changing the ingredients. The way they work is not the same as they did when they were originally put on the market. I'm not saying that products shouldn't change, ingredients shouldn't change, because you and I both know ingredients can become better. Or something new is learned and can be incorporated. That's fabulous. I am all for that, keeping everything up to date. However, you have to keep that information out there and make people aware of why you made changes, what you did differently, and how it's going to benefit them. And that's something I believe we are going to do different. We are going to be, as you said, completely transparent, and we understand the frustrations people are feeling when suddenly things the bottle does, even if the bottle not looking the same, can throw people off. They want the same feel, the same texture, everything, but they're great with change. All you have to do is include them.
Exactly. And so communication is really, really key. And that's another thing also too, that a lot of things happen. And we've seen this happen, since we've been starting up this company. We have so many brilliant minds behind the scenes, but, we know that effective communication is also very, very key. Okay, so let's move on to the second thing is an outdated business model. This has been the bane of my existence, especially over the last 5 years with AI, with technology, with automation coming in, and all the companies out there that we researched, looked at, they're still in a dinosaur phase. So, that second thing about having, the really moving forward with technology, providing tools, having just the basics that new generational marketers need. And that is, effective email campaigns, effective text message campaigns, and effective social media calendar. And that's just to begin with. We have a very robust technology platform. And not only that, when you got introduced to the full platform, how simple was it to learn and use?
Incredibly simple. I was blown away. In fact, that is probably one of the biggest frustrations when you talk to someone about the direct sales industry is it's too much work. You have to reinvent the wheel per se with every new business you start. As you've talked in the past, as a leader, how many times did you have to create all your own training materials and pass it on? And then you had to create your own social media post and all of the things. And that is so intimidating for so many people. But Toni, you brought this opportunity into me, and the first thing you said was, we are going to have everything available, all the tools necessary to build true entrepreneurial businesses for every business partner that jumps in. And that is a huge perk, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So we're so excited. And, even as we started this project late last year, we've already seen so many enhancements, and we will be in front of that and be on the cutting edge, not just in the science behind our products and the efficacy, but also on the other side of it with the technology. And of course, building community. We have talked about, doing great things, outside of just talking about the compensation plan, or the basic rote skills for our industry, and of course the products and the training on that. So there's so much more. Okay, next, this is one of my babies, is overhyped, undervalued products. Right? We see it all the time. So the next thing is, you can talk about clean products, but I can tell you, and I just went through and I did it again, I do it about once a quarter, is that I buy these clean products and they have no efficacy, or they just don't work. Right? And I'm not the only one that's using. I'm having my family try it and everything like that. And a lot of products in the clean space, or products that say that they're all natural, which all natural means that it only has to be 70% natural. That's not all natural, right? So that's why we strive to even have, we don't have any added fragrances. Our actual stabilizers in the ingredients are from fruits and from fermented roots and all of the things. So that's what we strive for, is a very clean product, but has incredible efficacy. So you can check out our testimonials group. We've already got, even though we just started it, we've got a ton of personal testimonials in there. And then the peer reviews, of course, that's really, really important. So, and we go through the best of the best, making sure that we have the science, that we have the peer reviews, that we have all the testing that we need to be done, because that's just as good as having a product that actually works. So what are your thoughts on that, my friend?
Well, I have to say, I agree with you completely. And one of the things that bothers me in any industry is when people's response to a question like, "Is this 100% naturally based or clean? Are these clean products?" It's, well, it meets industry standards. Well, okay, that's fine, but if people don't know what industry standards are, or the fact that they aren't as high level as they should be, then people don't understand that. But the point being that we have chosen as a company to ensure that our products exceed the industry standards. We are setting a new level, a new goal, a new plateau of what true clean, effective products look like, feel like, smell like, and how they work. And that it touches me greatly, because that is, we're looking out for our clients, even if they don't realize that we're looking out for them.
And that brings us back to, again, we didn't skimp. We have the best formulators. We have the best testing facilities in the entire world. So even though we have some that are based here in Florida, we still went with the best of the best. That was really important. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that. All the way down to testing, again, making sure that we're free of herbicides and pesticides. And glyphosate that's a buzzword right now, because people are finally learning how awful it is for you. So we have to make sure, and of course, our medical grade water and the things that we use in our products are absolutely a 10. So I'm so, so glad that you said that. Okay, on to the next one. Pay to play culture. This is a huge, massive pet peeve for me, that, people have to spend more than they make. Okay, so we have made that very, very clear, that all of your sales can come from customers. And the only thing that, as a business partner, because that's truly what you are, we lock arms with you, is that you have to place one personal order every quarter. Again, it's based on use, right? So we want to be, sharing the best practices, but we've really put a lot of thought into making monthly bonuses available for everyone every single month, right? From the time that they, are here until, they pass on their legacy business, or, they decide that their time is up here. We've done that. We've ensured that people just can't collect a commission check based on volume from one leg. We make sure that we give you tools, where we have that compression, and then we're going to have the placement suite. But the one thing is that we will not tolerate any, hokey pokey behavior, right? None of that, where you're actually, buying your rank, or, you're trying to do things behind the scene and not actually being a legitimate business owner, because that is a big pet peeve for me. So, and not only that, having a phenomenal comp plan. That's one of the things that we looked at that had to be, okay, you know what? The product, the people, the pay / commissions, had to be the best of the best. So, that's what we really strive with. And those are just a few things that I talk about, but there's no lack of transparency in this, especially when every single day what you're making and where it's coming from. So, what are your thoughts on that, Anissa?
Well, one of the first things that comes to mind are flash sales. I think that is probably one of the biggest hurdles that every industry and every company needs to look at, because what happens? You have a flash sale, it creates a sense of urgency. You think, oh, I need to get 3 or 4 of these because they're on sale. Your clients are doing the same, the business partners and the clients. They start to have this panic mentality, this flash sale mentality, where they've got to jump on every flash sale. The issue with that is, and I'm all about somebody getting a great deal. That's not the issue. The issue is suddenly they wake up and they look under their cabinet and they've got enough product for the next 2 years. And that creates buyer's remorse. It creates issues with how the longevity of the product that you've over purchased. It also dummies down the true value of the products. And I'm so glad when you talk about the fact we are having 2 sales a year. That's it. Our products are worth every penny. We're not going to discount them just for the fact of discounting them. We are going to have a Christmas in July and a Black Friday through Cyber Monday special. Other than that, our products are worth every penny. Like I said, they're going to do what we say, and they're going to, and people are going to see that right away. But having people buy their ranks or accidentally fall into that hole of, I bought so much product from flash sale, I don't need anything for the next 2 years, doesn't do anyone any good, let the business partner or the client. And I'm so glad we've taken that off the table.
100%. And not only that, too, when you consistently put your products on sale, it really hurts the commissions of, our business partners. And so, again, I've lived through that several times in my career. It never actually ends up working out. And based on my research and talking to industry professionals, those 2 sales a year serves, a new generational marketing company the best. So that was really, really important. Okay. Next topic is poor field training, leadership, and support. Again, another one of my pet peeves, right?
Mine too.
Yeah. So the one thing that we wanted to completely alleviate was the fact that somebody could come in, have this quick rise to success or build something and then take their foot off the table and never support their team and just collect a paycheck. We don't believe in that. You have to be actively out there supporting. We believe that there is room for everyone at this table. And, we're not just telling people to share their story. We're actually giving them tangible steps on what and how they should be sharing their story, both in person, both on these types of calls, these lives, and on social media. So we're giving them the best of social media and the formula on how they do that. And of course, as we learn, And we really highly encourage you, if you have ideas or there are things that we suggested, is that you personalize it, make it your own. Even if you put it into some AI platform, that helps tremendously, because AI also knows what's trending. And so that can also help you with your algorithm, and that type of thing. Also, leadership training, product training, that is the crux of who we are. So we have incredible training already on the product. We have already incredible training on who we are as a community. We have incredible training. We just started with our compensation plan training, because, again, that was one of the key components that, we just released. So we're super excited, and we cannot wait to celebrate you guys. And that is another thing, recognition. That is a huge part of it, all the way down from, when we'll celebrate you when you get your first client. And it's not about selling, it's about providing a solution. So when you change that in your mind, it's not about you, it's about them, and how can you help them. Yeah, I mean, you guys, these are just some of the simple tangibles that people don't train on. They're just like, well, go out and show the product on your social media, talk about the benefits. People don't want to be sold to. So, we have that whole system for working around that. So what are your thoughts on that, Anissa?
Well, Tony, that's a real big touching point for me, because this is our seventh business, right? And being an entrepreneur, a true entrepreneur, takes skills, it takes tools, it takes 100% authenticity and understanding that you are involved and doing the do. You don't just, as you said, you don't put your foot on the gas for the first 6 months, build the business up, and then say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to let everybody else do the work under me, and I'm just going to walk away and collect a paycheck. That's not how real entrepreneurial businesses work. It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of tools. And I love the fact that we've put so much of this in place, because it doesn't matter if somebody decides they're going to stay with us 6 months, 6 years, or 60 years. These tools and training is something that we no longer teach in school. There's no one knows how to balance their checkbook. I've had renters that didn't even know how to write a check, let alone or mail the check. I mean, simple life skills that are missing. And I want to ensure, again, as you said, this isn't about us. This is about ensuring that our business partners come in and we teach them the entrepreneurial skills that not only benefit them while they're with FermaGlo, that they will carry on to the next business that they decide to create for themselves. Maybe they and their spouse decide that they want to go out on a venture together. We want to give them those skill sets, because that is going to ensure their success. It's going to ensure their comfortability. They're not so anxious about what they're doing. And we're being authentic about it. Like you said, we're not saying, here, just go out there and tell your story and you're going to sell $10,000 worth of product this month. That's not how it works. You have to build relationships. You have to build communities. You have to build trust with other people. And that's what we're doing in our communities.
100%. Gosh, I just love that so much. And I love your passion for this industry. We're two of alike on that one. Okay. One of my favorite topics, right? Reputation and stigma. Oh boy, oh boy. Because I always say, integrity is everything. And, what is integrity eats strategy for breakfast, right? So everything is based on, who you are, what you say what you do, and you do what you say. So that's huge. But the one thing that I really want to drive home, and we've even had, even before it was like we were announcing this to the public for 6 weeks, and it's another one of those pyramids, it's a scam, it's a scheme, and all that kind of stuff. You guys, those are dead terms. Okay. Back in the 70s and 80s, and we even saw this 10 years ago. There was, and I'm going to use this as an example, there was like this gaming network marketing platform where you could sign people up. It was like a huge investment or something like that. And they really had nothing tangible to sell. That's what a pyramid or a scam or a Bernie Madoff, right, type thing is. And it's when you don't actually have an end product or service to sell. So you guys, here's the thing. One of the reasons why there is more failure in network marketing than there is success is because people aren't willing to do the work and take on 100% of the responsibility. That is entrepreneurism 101. You are completely responsible for your success. We have all the tools, we have all the training, we have the map, right? But you know what? The thing about it is if you think you're just going to go talk to 3 or 5 or 10 of your friends and family, or you're going to post 2 or 3 times on social media a week and you're going to make all this money and have massive success, that's not the case. You're going to have to invest front end income producing activities in order to be able to have that success. Now, success means something different to everybody, right? But no matter whether you want to make $500 a month or $100,000 a month or $300,000 a month or more, you have to be willing to put in the work. And the more that you want to make, the more work it takes. So we have that total strategy for you. And I know that people don't want to feel salesy. They don't want to burn any bridges. That's great, you guys. But you know what? They're going to go buy hair care and skincare from someone. So why not offer that? Yeah, we have check marks, cleaner, safer product. We guarantee that it works and you get paid for doing it. And it's, we have our retail is, 30%. So we're actually at the upper echelon for, selling people product at retail price. So, again, we say what we do and we deliver. And so that is a huge part. What are your thoughts?
Well, what came to mind is proven integrity. When I think of you and Jay, when I think of everybody that has invested in this business, I think we are at the upper echelon of proven integrity. So many of the direct sales companies out there that have gone under recently were not running a business. That I don't know. I'm not going to venture into what was happening. I don't know, not my business. All I know is they hurt people, that people's financial stability was taken away from them, that people who loved products suddenly couldn't get them, and that hurt our industry. And it just makes it harder for us, those of us that truly are out here trying to help fill the gaps for not only the products that people need, the clean, effective products, but the business partners that are looking to bridge the gaps in income, be it $500 a month, $5,000 a month, or $500,000 a year, whatever those goals are, like you're saying. So we've got to, the proven integrity that you and Jay brought to the table when you started this business because of your almost 30 years in the industry. What Jason and I have brought by being entrepreneurs for 7 years, and that's just on the entrepreneurship side. It's not the direct sales side that we've been for over about 20 years. Everybody has brought that integrity to the table. And I think that's where our success is going to come from, because the people that know us and are getting to know us know we are really here and in it to change this and to make it profitable for everybody involved.
100%. And, we this kind of went hand in hand together because, it's also the lack of a real income opportunity. One is because people treat this like a hobby instead of a true business, right? So you have to look at that. And, it is different than a W-2 or a JOB, which I call just over broke, right? Because honestly, you're not taught entrepreneurial skills. You're not taught that in school. You're not taught that in your homes, because 95% of people are employed by somebody else, and the 5% of us are entrepreneurs. That's what we want to teach you, the fundamental difference between that, and really about that mindset, both from, owning your own business to a money mindset. And money mindset holds people back, I think, the most outside of everything. So, we're always talking and teaching about that. But one thing is that, a lot of times people don't understand comp plans, right? You don't know what you don't know. So I say you learn by, each rank advancement that you make, but ours is not overly complicated. I came from a past, it was a 77-page document. Okay. We're not going to have, we're not going to have that. We're working on the workbook right now that's behind the scenes, but I don't think it's going to be more than 3 or 4 pages. So again, we want to simplify. That's, been a huge message of mine for many, many years, is simplifying this industry. And the reason why, again, that there's still some skepticism is because it's overly complicated. So I just know that a real income opportunity, like I said before, breaking down those numbers earlier, and that's why we have that transparency. Any thoughts on that one, Anissa?
Well, I go back to the consistency bonus that you mentioned earlier is probably my favorite item on our comp plan because it is so easy to understand. The whole comp plan is, I've been in two other direct sales companies, and I can promise you, I didn't understand more than a third of the comp plans. They were so complicated. I could only take, you start out and you're trying to take bite-sized pieces, right? And trying to digest it one bite at a time. And you suddenly hit this wall and you just can't get it. That was where I was at. But this comp plan, I understand it. It is so easy. But this consistency bonus allows our business partners with by being consistent, exactly what it means. By staying consistent and working your business, there is absolutely no reason why every one of them should not be hitting this bonus every month. And it's a bonus big enough. I don't want to go into details because that's for another training, but it's big enough that it's going to make a huge difference in somebody's budget every month. This is for the parents out there struggling because they have 2 or 3 kids at home. They're trying to put groceries on the table and pay the electric bill and put fuel in the vehicles to take them back and forth to school. It's also big enough that for somebody like me, I'm like, wow, I could I could definitely book a plane ticket somewhere fabulous with this kind of money, doing it monthly. And you don't have to. If you miss a month, you're not automatically out. It doesn't matter about your rank. I love, love, love this part of our comp plan so much.
Oh, yep, absolutely. And then the last topic that I wanted to cover was a one size fits all messaging. And, I've heard that so many times in the past. People get so wrapped up in what should I post? What should I talk about? What is the company's messaging? And the fact of the matter is that we have all genres, all the way from 18 on up to, I think 72 is one of our oldest business partners. But here's the thing, you guys, we give you all sorts of different ideas, but you have to curate your message to the things that really interest you about, this opportunity. And therefore we can give you the prompts, we can give you the ideas. I'll tell you another thing, because Chat GPT is free and so is Gronk. They all have free platforms, is that you take what you love about your life, what you love about this business, curate your own message, use the graphics that we create for you. And then, you know what? And then it's yours. You own it. The other thing is too, is that we try to cover as many genres as we can, because what appeals to an 18-year-old is not going to appeal to somebody that's in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? So right now in that younger generation, they're really concerned about the treatment of the earth, and they're concerned about clean products. And yes, they want to make money, but that's not their number one focus. It's all about how they can serve others. So that's a very strong core message that we have, because that resonates towards a lot of us that are a part of this. But then again too, there's a lot of people that are in their 50s and 60s, and their retirement has just been I mean, you guys, it's just been, yeah, you know what I was going to say. I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. But their retirement has been depleted, or, they've gotten sick and they've had to do different things. So we want to provide that entire gamut. And that's why we do what we do as far as the different things that we have to offer. So therefore our messaging is different. It's around, 5 key pillars that really matter, faith, family, friends, finances, and fitness. because it's really important. Like, I'll give you an example right now. You've got a bunch of folks that are business partners, and Anissa is leading the way with 75 Hard. If you don't know what that is, go look up Andy Frisella's 75 Hard. It's a mental toughness program. I've done it once. And I'm going to be doing it again after our launch in the first part of August. It is not easy, but it's designed to make you a better person, both mentally, physically, emotionally. And that's what we strive to do here in providing you with those resources. And you guys, we have the most amazing training in the world. So, okay, Anissa, wrap us up and take us home here with this last little bit that we wanted to share.
Well, I'm going to piggyback on what you were saying, Toni. You have to find your passion points and you have to share what those are. And I truly believe that FermaGlo touches on something that is a passion point for everyone throughout that entire age bracket that you just mentioned. Everybody can find something that matters to them and carry it through. And that's what this is all about, right? It's you come into this community with the hope and prayer that you are going to find a fit. And that's what I hear from so many is I want to fit, I want to understand, I want to build. And they want to build themselves in, like you said, mentally, physically, emotionally, not just financially. A lot of it's time freedom that they're looking for in the future. And so we are here helping everyone with our basic core values, like you said, that you get to put your own personal spin on it. We're not locking you in saying you can only use this elevator speech, right? We've heard that elevator script or whatever the verbiage is. We're not looking for that. You have to be authentic. You have to be passionate and you have to share that passion with others. That is what where the connection is going to come in at. And that is where people are going to continue building their interest in FermaGlo and in any entrepreneurial business. So back to you, Toni.
100%. So you guys, we've covered all the gaps, that we've seen in the industry, really talking about the lack of trust, outdated tools, poor training, weak products, and broken comp plans. And our edge is that we're disrupting with that transparency, innovation, digital systems, and a real mission. You guys, our mission and our core values are going to be right on the front facing part of our website. That was very important for us because what does that mean? That means that our messaging is cascading down, and that's who we are at the true core of a company and helping you build legacy. So, I know that a lot of people have said that, and I've said this, that the industry has suffered greatly, especially over the last 3 to 4 years. But you know what? It's disruption and change that has to happen in order for other companies to follow suit. And I pray that they take the platform that we have put together and that they do this because I want this industry to thrive. We know our company is already set up for greatness and we are going to take it and we're going to skyrocket and help serve as many people that we can. But I don't want to see these people lose their livelihoods because I personally know what that's like. So, again, Anissa, thank you so much. Any closing words of wisdom before we wrap this up?
No, Toni, we've covered everything. I mean, again, I think you and I both just feel the same. We know this industry is needed. We know that people are looking for this business model. We know that true entrepreneurship is a huge benefit to people. We're just trying to be the conduit to help you all find the path that is best for you.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for your time today and helping us get this together. Really appreciate you. You guys, if you have any questions at all, please reach out, go to FermaGlo.com, get connected there. You can, reach out to Anissa, anybody that you know in the company, or our board members. We are more than willing to help you. We want to help you. We want to help you be the best version of you. That is our goal. And that to me is worth more than any, we didn't build this to get rich. We built this to serve and to help you build a long-term sustainable business. All right, Anissa, thank you so much. Love you. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.